President Trump told Politico it's time to look for new leadership in Iran. The Mullahs admit that more than 5,000 protesters have been killed because they spoke out. Former counterterrorism coordinator under Trump, Nathan Sales, joins me now. Nathan, it seems to me that the killing has stopped and the demonstrations have stopped. Looks like a stalemate. Do you think the Mullahs will be forced out? The stalemate will be broken, Mullahs out? And if so, who replaces them?
Stuart, thanks for having me, and that's a great question. I don't think this is necessarily over. So President Trump came very close last week, reportedly, to ordering strikes and then stood down, but I don't know if that's a final decision. It may be that Trump decided to hit the brakes, but that would be an Obama-like move, which would be uncharacteristic for him. Draw a red line and then fail to enforce it. The other possibility is he's waiting until he has the right military assets in the region to carry out targeted strikes. We see that the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group is en route to the Middle East right now as we speak. So I think let's stay tuned and see what happens. If President Trump does order strikes, then that raises the very important question of what comes next.
Okay, would you like to speculate?
Yeah.
You think he's going to strike?
That's exactly what it would be, Stuart, speculation. I don't know. I don't think the president's advisors know either, and I think the president will make up his mind in due course. One thing we have to be very careful about is the devil that you don't know might be just as bad as, or maybe even worse than the devil you do know. So if the mullahs collapse, it's not guaranteed that a pro-Western secular democracy is going to spring up from the ashes. That's certainly what we hope would happen, but the Iranian opposition inside and outside the country has traditionally been very fractured. It's not clear they're ready to take over on day one, so we might actually be left with the security forces taking over, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. In other words, the very people who have been brutalizing the population, at least 5,000 deaths, and let's be clear, probably a lot more than that. We don't want them to take the keys to the kingdom. So any strikes would have to be targeted at instruments of repression while not inadvertently empowering those instruments of repression.
Sure. Let's move on and look at Greenland. The NATO chief, that would be Mark Rutte, he says he has spoken to Trump about the security situation in Greenland. Okay, is Greenland vital for U.S. national security, in your opinion?
I think it is, but there's a question of ends and means. When it comes to the ends, I think President Trump is exactly right. Greenland matters. It matters for missile defense. It matters because of natural resources. And maybe most of all, it matters because Russia and China are eyeing it, and the United States is capable of defending Greenland. But all that said, I think we can get what we need there through negotiation with friends rather than saber rattling. My concern is that by rattling the saber, we're actually going to make it more difficult to get a good deal, and we're going to be alienating the Europeans we need. And I'm not talking about the Davos set. I'm talking about European conservatives who look to the United States for leadership. We need to keep those people, our natural friends, on our side.
Got it. Nathan Sales, great stuff. Thanks for being with us, sir. We appreciate it always.
Thank you, Stuart.
Yes, sir.